This is the story of how we acquired a honeybee hive. Our journey begins in East Texas, nestled on 7 acres of land. This property once belonged to my husband's grandfather, Leroy Arnett. He loved gardening and planted all sorts of tomatoes and vegetables. We moved onto the property 7 years ago, and I began building a garden of my own. Throughout the years, I have planted roses, Texas natives, pear trees, peach trees, blackberries, blueberries, and so many other things. And a few days ago, we discovered a colony of honeybees nestled inside a water meter box on our property. Now, mind you, we are not professionals at all when it comes to beekeeping, but we did our research and we decided that we needed to try and save this honeybee colony and move it into a beehive over next to my garden. So we ordered a kit off of Amazon that came with the beehive and everything we needed to get started. After we unboxed everything, we began putting all the frames together for the beehive. And before we knew it, our bee castle was assembled and ready for our colony of bees to live in it. My husband was a trooper and decided to take on the brave task of moving the honeybees out of the water meter box and into the new beehive. So after suiting up and taking all the necessary safety measures and precautions, he began the process of tediously moving the bees one by one and started searching for the queen. Again, we are not professionals, but we felt it was our civic duty to help save the honeybees. And we always wanted to get into beekeeping, so this was a great way to get started. He began by carefully removing the brood from the water meter box and transferring it over to the frames for the new beehive. This is going to help entice the honeybees to start transferring and integrating into their new home. Because the bee castle that we ordered on Amazon is coated in beeswax, it helped to attract the honeybees to it. They became very interested in it, and some even willingly went into the box with no effort needed. After extracting a few pieces of brood, he places it into the frame, of course searching for the queen carefully and thoroughly with each piece that he takes off. We actually ended up finding the queen in the lid of the water meter box, so we gently placed it into the new bee castle to help get the colony moved over. Once the queen had been carefully extracted, he began slowly scooping the remaining honeybees out of the water meter box and into their new home. Little by little, and slowly the colony began moving into the new beehive. This process is a very lengthy and tedious one. We went very slowly and very cautiously to help make sure that no honeybees were harmed. After a few hours, all of the honeybees had been successfully transferred out of the water meter box and into the new beehive. We then placed the lid onto the new beehive, and we kept it right beside the water meter box until nightfall to ensure that any worker bees that were still out were able to get into the new beehive before we moved it to its new location. As you can see, the water meter box is completely empty of honeybees. The visible bees begin wiggling their butt, which is a process that releases a hormone scent into the air. This process alerts the colony that they have found their new and safe home and helps to guide any worker bees into the new beehive. Once nightfall had set in, we carefully loaded the beehive onto the back of our golf cart. Very slowly, we began our trek over to our side of the property and into the garden where their new home will be. And just like that, we were over in our garden, safe and sound, with the beehive fully intact. All that was left to do was get the beehive off of the golf cart and onto this pedestal that we had placed for the beehive to sit on. And before we knew it, our honeybee extraction was a success, and the beehive was in its new, safe location. The very next morning, we were happy to see the beehive was fully active. All throughout the day, we would see honeybees enjoying the pollen on all the flowers in the garden. Here, they will be safe from harm, where they can enjoy fields of flowers. They'll be able to pollinate fruit trees, vegetables, and enjoy lots and lots of honeysuckle vine. Now we will do our part to help ensure that the honeybees have plenty of honey to prepare them for the winter in their new beehive. And for now, we will sit and enjoy all the honeybees that we see in the garden as they are working hard to do their part to help build this colony. And this is the story of how we acquired a honeybee hive.